I know Class B's members aren't exactly new, but it sure feels like there's so many characters in this series. Maybe you should really take Oda's advice very closely. After tapping into the memory of One for All, Deku begins to question if it's more than a dream. What does it mean for him? What was it like for All Might when he experienced it? The break is over, and we are back to get some answers and the beginning of a new arc. This chapter introduced new, concerning questions and the next training course with a special guest. To recap the last time, Deku had a dream to revisit a moment with All for One and One for All confronting and ended when the latter was forced to obtain a quirk. It could have been just a dream, but Deku confirms that he felt the physical presence of the first when they touched each other's hand. For the record, Deku still has his scars, so it was an art mistake in the last chapter. In short, Deku dreamt a memory and woke up with a quirk activated unconsciously. What does this mean? Thankfully, he does visit All Might to talk about his dream. It's the only logical approach. All Might did have a similar moment like Deku when revisiting a memory. However, he didn't speak to the first, let alone made it physical contact. Apparently, Deku may have been the first person to untap this potential. It could explain that maybe quirk activation back at the dorm wasn't supposed to happen, but because of a unique moment compared to other users, it's a different case altogether. Most of Deku's moments are new to All Might, so he can only reference his master's lessons in the past. The dream of One for All is more than a dream. They are remnants. Basically, it's like a recollection of the quirk and its users that accumulate the value that becomes part of the power. Like All Might said, it sounds rather paranormal, but her master thought it's romantic. If she were to disappear, she will be within One for All, like a reunion that won't disappear. It would be nice to have a spin-off with her and All Might. All Might couldn't help Deku since this is all new to him. Sadly, they included the two shadowy figures. At least we have a new mystery to look forward to, so that's a plus in interest level. Deku said that maybe All Might is still new to the quirk, which could explain All Might's blurry figure. It could be that, though it's possible that he's alive, so it is waiting for him to pass on to be part of the group. As for the two shadows, it could mean the same, or they too have disappeared. All in all, Deku's time with One for All is a mystery, so he just have to continue to explore. Honestly, I'm pretty iffy about this. First of all, it's rather funny that Kohi said that he never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, yet he has done many aspects that resembles it. I am aware Avatar isn't unique, but it is a comical irony. Not only the protagonist goes into a memory bank, but he also interacts with others. Not to mention, he inherits the almighty power that can change the path of the world, or at least in Tokyo. The only difference is Deku seems to be geared to be the chosen one. That worries me. It would have been fine if All Might knew about it as well as the predecessor, but for the time being, it is said that Deku is the first to untap the phenomenon. It was good to watch Deku trying to be similar to All Might with his own fighting style, but now I probably have to prepare myself for something unique that no one hasn't unlocked or probably won't replicate. In other words, there's a good chance that he may have unlocked a new power that probably no one have ever seen, not even All Might. The fact he interacted with the first only screams that Naruto's oddity, and I'm not a fan of it. I get the premise is to keep it mystery, but it sounds like it won't be long for an underdog story, rather a chosen one. I know inheriting One for All is technically the chosen one quirk, but it doesn't have to insert more uniqueness. It is fine the way it was. I hope Koei doesn't overblow it, especially after changing the future nonsense. At least Deku tells All Might that his master was really pretty, and that put a smile on All Might's face. That was a nice moment. Deku and All Might bump into Aizawa and Shinsho. It gives you an idea that Shinsho is going to be involved with the next arc, which is starting now. We get to see heroes of Class 1A in their winter gear. Most of them largely have the same design, some puts another layer, and some has longer sleeves. Funny how someone pointed out Tenya's gear to be compatible to both summer and winter. Bakugo actually looks better with longer sleeves, but his rowdy attitude still applies the same. Deku just have to nerd out on the gear's capability. I wonder how the anime will animate Bakugo biting a speech bubble. That really happened. Ochako hears about Deku's gloves made by Hasame and the flashbacks startles her. Didn't we pass this notion already? Am I expected to revisit that character's aspect again here? I wrote a nice post about her handling the problem. Please, don't discard it by regressing. I know she has been underused, but please, no need to go back. Speaking of underused, guess who finally showed up in combat gear? Class 1B. Looking at the panel of their appearance, it's like looking at all the victims in a battle to death scenario. Only they won't die, so I have to know them. The problem is, it's been ages, so I forgot their names. I had to weaken some in order to remember. I only remember Monoma because how obnoxious he is. Tetsu because Tetsu is so good. You say it twice, or 4 times if you include the last name. And Kendo because of 2 arcs ago. Other than that, this feels like new character's introduction. Funny because Oda warned him about too many characters, and it seems like the problem will continue. It's going to be a joint combat practice, at least according to Monoma. I don't know if it's really Class A versus B, since he is incredibly full of himself. I assume that the last arc was your serious arc, so more training is on the way. However, they have a special guest, and that guest is Shinsho, now sporting a masked gear that clearly has special functionality. I can already sense that it would greatly benefit his quirk, perhaps use the sound to brainwash from afar. Whatever it is, Kohi is finally going to favor the fans with Shinsho. I personally don't know why, but I'm all in for more depth. Overall, this was a good chapter. I do have an iffy feeling for the future content, especially how it's close on determining Deku to be the one and only. Regardless, it was a good conversation that leaves out some mysteries to think over. The combat practice could be a fun one, even with a vast of underused cast. It's like the serious arc is reserved for very few, but who knows? For now, it's more training with Shinsho added to the mix. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. I know the chapter was 13 pages long, which is concerning, but I don't think he's sick. I think he just need a rest, and he was working a lot before the break even, because you gotta consider that he went to the Comic-Con, and then he had the movie, the interviews. There's a lot of things he has to do, so I don't think he's sick. I think he's just a little bit tired, but I do think he will recover well, and he will be back with a normal chapter length and whatnot. As long as he's healthy, I'm fine with that. What do you think is going to take place in this next combat training? What exactly is that Shinsho mask functionality? Will it be what I said, or will it be something different? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.